Okay, here it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna like pretty much read them. I mean, I just wrote down 3 stories. Like free writing style. I just wrote until I had a fucking ending. But I wanted to make a video out of one of these. But I don't, like, I wrote them, so I don't want to fucking decide. So I'll let you motherfuckers decide. All you gotta do, you can type 1 or 2 or 3, or I like the 3rd story, or maybe I like the 2nd story. Or you could write out 1, or you could write out 2, you could even write out 3. You could say 1 and 2 both suck, so 3 is the way to go. I don't give a fuck how you do it, but just tell me which one you want me to do. Okay, here we go. First one. I'll just read it exactly how it's wrote, so if there's any fucking misspellings, it's gonna be, or fucking weird shit. Okay, so there I am, sitting at a crossroad, when a man who only I can see asks me for the time. He's like invisible, and only I can see him. He gets angry and when I tell him that I don't know, he gets angry at me and starts to yell at me. He tells me that I'm not the man he thought I was. I tell him that he's a fuckface and that I hope he never finds out the time. This is when he starts screaming no and proceeds to kick the shit out of me with 2 of his invisible friends. That is when the bus rolls up and tells me that I need to be this tall to ride. The invisible man get on the bus and I never see them again. That's the first one. The second one. This one's kind of weird. I don't know what I was doing here. 2 guys walk into a room, close the door. On the ground there's a guy hog-tied, gagged, and blindfolded. They proceed to turn on the Xbox and start playing Super Mario Bros. Now, I understand there's a little bit of fucking error here, but bear with me. The man on the ground wakes up and starts moving. He tries to get free, but all he does is roll over on the TV remote, turning off the TV. The 2 guys both look at him with disgust and pound him in the liver with their shoes after they took them off. So they took off their shoes and hit him in the liver with it. It's kind of fucked up, but whatever. After a while, the pizza man knocks on the door and one man goes to answer it, and the other man turns the TV back on and returns the game while the other man is paying for pizza. When he gets back, he finds out that he started the game without him. He pulls out a gun and shoots him in the face. After a moment, he realizes what he had done, and he kills himself in a fit of sadness, I suppose, and leaves the blindfolded, bound man to sit in the room for 2 days until the cops come. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Okay, this is the 3rd one. These 2 guys walk into a bathroom at a house party. The first dude, Jim, starts to take a leak. Where I come from, that's called stealing a mirror. The other kid, John, starts to fix his face in the mirror and talk shit on this kid Kevin's stupid fucking hat and how it makes him look like a rapist. They tell... Oh. That doesn't make any sense. Jim tells John that Ryan, who bumped into John earlier, had almost spilled his Long Island iced tea all over John's new shirt, which just so happened to be a band shirt. I guess is a band shirt. Just so happened to be a band that Kevin thinks sucks. So they call both kids mean names for a while until there's a banging on the door. This is when this kid, Mike, who is a friend of Kevin, but is also a friend of Jim, and he thinks Ryan is a fuckhead, so they let him in. These 3 guys proceed to talk the worst kind of shit on Ryan, and his family, his morals, his ugly whore of a girlfriend, and so on. Then there is another bang on the door, and it's Ryan, who is a friend of no one, but only John really hates him. So he gets behind the shower curtain, and they let Ryan in, and he starts talking about how some dumb kid crashed into him and almost spilled his vodka on the rocks. John then starts laughing on the other side of the curtain, which makes Ryan jump to the conclusion that the house is haunted, and he faints. When he faints, Mike yells because he has a fear of ghosts, and just on the sheer terror in his voice is convinced him that these ghosts must be real, so he also faints. But first he throws up. That's key. I don't know why. And at this time, John stops laughing and starts pushing the curtain aside, which scares Jim into punching John in the face through the curtain. And then Jim trips on one of the motionless bodies and hits his head and is knocked out. At this time, everyone in the bathroom is knocked out, and there is a knocking on the door. It is Kevin, who proceeds to rape them all. Although, I think it's Ryan. No, it was Kevin that had the hat that made him look like a rapist. No, that's accurate. So, that fucking took a long-ass time. I'll catch you on the flip. Don't forget to fucking vote. If you make a comment and you don't vote, I'm gonna be like, what a dick. I specifically asked him to fucking vote.